Hi guys, Dr. Nick here, and I wanted to do one more video where we're going to talk about the importance of the central nervous system, and in other words, we're going to talk about the consequences of having dysfunction within the nervous system as well. So the central nervous system, it is a very important part of the body because it controls everything. Our central nervous system controls everything in our body. In fact, I want you to think about a little phrase that I'm going to say here in a second, and I want you to really think about that as you watch this video. And that phrase is, you live your life through your nervous system. Think about that. You live your life through your nervous system. Now, that means everything, okay? Every interaction, every conversation you have with somebody, every feeling of happiness or sadness, every piece of food that your body digests, every breath that you take, every time your immune system comes into contact with a virus or a bacteria, that is run through and regulated by your central nervous system. Literally everything you do in life is impacted in some way or regulated in some way by your central nervous system. I think that's pretty important, and I think that is pretty important when we're talking about improving the health of ourselves and our families. So in this video, I want to talk about the three different parts of the central nervous system, and I want to finish by talking about how in our office we can measure how the nervous system is functioning. So first off, the central nervous system has three different parts to it. We have the first part we're going to talk about is the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is the part of our nervous system that controls all of our organs, all of our glands. So in other words, digestion, our immune system, hormone balance, respiration, all the things that we do in life that we don't have to think about, that just happen automatically or autonomically, is our autonomic nervous system. That controls that. So when people come into our office and they have a challenge like digestive issues or sinus issues or trouble sleeping or hormone imbalances or anxiety or anything like that, all of that is regulated by the autonomic nervous system. So that is that factor. Number two is the sensory aspect of the nervous system. Okay, that is obviously pain. Pain is in that threshold of conversation. Numbness in your hands, sciatica, tingling in your feet, any hot, cold, anything that your brain takes in for light, sound, smell. We know a lot of people are very sensitive, like people with migraines. They're sensitive to smells. When you have a migraine, sometimes you're sensitive to light and sound. Anybody with sensory processing disorder, what that is the brain's inability to process all of the senses that the nervous system is receiving as we go through life, whether it be sound or taste or touch. That is a great example of the sensory nervous system aspect or part of the nervous system at work. The third one is motor control. So I think we've all, if you're listening to this, you've had a muscle spasm or a twitch or an eye twitch or a cramp or I just talked to a patient last night. They said that they carry their stress in their neck and their upper back, that tension. Okay, muscles respond only to what the nerve is telling it to do. So if your central nervous system is stressed, that's going to lead to tension. If you have poor posture, that's going to lead to more muscle tension. So the motors, muscle movement, things like that are controlled by the motor aspect of the central nervous system. So when you put it all together, the whole central nervous system is so intertwined. It's fascinating how all of those things work together. The autonomic system, the sensory system, the motor system, to work together to really live life through. That's how we live life through. And they can be intermingled in many different ways. We can see something with our sensory system that is causing us to feel happy, that's going to trigger our autonomic nervous system to release happy chemicals within our body, hormone production and all that stuff. And we could have the opposite effect. We could see something that makes us angry or sad or fearful, and that's going to tell our motor system to tighten up and spasm and things like that. So the whole system is so intricately designed. It's just an awesome thing to talk about. So having said that, when you have a patient, or when we have a patient that comes to us and we ask them about how their body is functioning, whether it be digestion or sensory challenges or motor challenges or whatever. Or maybe you've heard somebody that has talked to you about their experience with the chiropractor, and they've told you, oh yeah, my digestion has gotten better, my immune system has gotten better, my kid's anxiety has gotten better, my wife's migraines have gotten better, whatever the issue is, and they tell you that chiropractic has been a big part of their success in getting results and feeling better. It's not because chiropractic care treats migraines or treats ADHD. It's because as chiropractors, we are assessing the function of the nervous system, the central nervous system. And when you have dysfunction or dysregulation of the central nervous system, then the nervous system is not going to be regulating properly, which can lead to digestive issues, hormone issues, sensory issues, muscle issues, and so forth. So that's the whole objective of neurologically focused chiropractic, is assessing the function of the central nervous system and seeing where and to what extent there is any dysregulation of the nervous system. That's pretty simple. So in our office, I'm going to have a little picture pop up here, and this is of a scan that we do in our office, and this scan in particular is measuring the function of the autonomic nervous system. This is a thermal scanner that's measuring paraspinal skin temperature, and really what it's measuring when you're assessing the paraspinal skin temperature is the function of the autonomic nervous system, because the autonomic nervous system is in charge of temperature regulation. So if there's improper or dysregulation within the temperature on the surface of the paraspinal skin of a person's spine, then, and that is off, like in this picture, you're going to notice in the upper cervical, in the upper neck area, you're going to see a big pattern swing from one side to the other, and you'll see some color up there too. That lets us know in this individual scan, there is dysautonomia or dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system in their upper cervical area. And then you go a little bit down further in the mid-back area of this picture, and you see another big pattern swing from one side to the other. That lets us know that there is dysfunction in the nervous system at that level. So as a chiropractor in our office, when you come in, our objective is to assess the function of the nervous system, see where there's dysregulation, and our objective is not to treat this person's symptoms, but it's to simply restore the balance, restore regulation within the central nervous system, especially at those levels, because those are the areas that are under the most amount of stress. So if this video sits well with you, if you have any questions about this, if you'd like to learn more about the scans that we do in our office, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we'll see you next time on the video next week.